From coaches to casuals, grassroots to the league, this is Open Gym. I'm Coach Q.
Coach T.
Coach Way Too Nice. A tier of AAU teams that are so much better than other teams that they get to lose every game in pool play and
automatic bid.
I was like, oh.
And I guess, Wayne, this probably makes sense to jump into this conversation just because it's kind of organically came up. I think an answer to that does come down to, I don't know if they still do it anymore, but them rankings.
Yeah.
And they were making a lot of Super Pool teams off of kind of like the clout of social media and
coast to
rankings,
coast. Coast to coast, yeah.
That's what it was,
yeah,
the coast to coast
coast
rankings.
To coast joints, yeah.
There was one
and
more
if you was
what was the other one?
I can't remember that one, but I know the coast to coast ones.
Was a Hoop Report? You remember?
I wasn't tapped in on that.
Yeah, I would, because Hoop Report you had to pay for it. So it's coast to coast preps, and there was something else though. But I know coast to coast preps kind of were like the reign supreme at the time.
When those rankings dropped, it was like the ESPN.
It really was
top
like
60. And if you wasn't on there, they had like full lives where everybody's like critiquing these top teams.
It was going down.
And that was at every class. But going to what you were saying, a lot of it came down to like those rankings and things like that. So if you was inside them top 8, 9, 10, you was gonna get Super Pool guaranteed.
Yeah.
And you probably you was paying for minimal tournaments. I remember it was a time that we cracked. I don't remember exactly where it was, but you start seeing them inboxes. And they be like, what y'all doing this weekend?
Yeah.
Hey, we'll waive the fee for this.
But I'm still getting them text messages.
Yeah. And so leading this to go to one of the questions, the validity of ranking sites. And I guess we could start it off here. What is a good time to start ranking? And we can separate it into two things, players and teams. So let's start off with players.
Well,
when is a good time to start ranking players?
Well, okay. Yeah. So a good time to start ranking players, really, I feel like it's about middle school.
I was going to say that.
Okay.
And we talking about even middle school, I'm no less than 7th grade.
Yeah.
6th grade on down, I still consider 6th is like elementary school because we grew up, K through 6, but yeah, I feel like, and even ranking then is you're ranking off potential. You're ranking off the height of a kid at this moment. You're ranking off how a kid may be a little bit more talented than his peers at that time. So I feel like I feel kind of torn between where I'm saying middle school because of how the new social media and everything moves now. But if I wanted to be honest, I would say really 10th grade.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
But of course there's a market to rank 7th through 9th graders.
Yeah.
Of course, the market is really ranking kindergartners.
But so really what you're saying is that in your eyes, you don't really see it as being too valid until 10th.
Yeah, about 9th to 10th grade is really when it becomes valid. Because
so high school for you.
Yeah, because really in a sense, if you think about who the number one kid was in 7th grade versus the number one kid is in 11th grade.
Yeah, or even going into like 9th grade.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So
I don't remember the names of them. I would shout them out, but we came up in an era of ranking kids early. Yeah. From like 3rd grade, 4th grade. You've seen certain names. There is one.
There's only one name that's there. That's Baba. Baba from goddamn 2nd grade to now. He's the only one that's like been and rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully earned.
But I think he might be the only one that
but that
when you see like that the rest of them top 25s right now, it's like, oh damn. CJ Rozier, he grew up, came out of nowhere. He blew up out of nowhere. Yeah. Nobody seen him, nobody heard of him. Now he's the number one player in the country.
Exactly. So that's why I say, you think about. I understand the game of ranking potential, 7th, 8th grade, 9th grade, but like I said, it becomes valid around 10th grade. But if you want to talk about it, we can kind of go back to what we said before. Ranking is another money grab for AAU.
Yeah.
But
I done seen people be ranked number 1 and then not even play high school ball.
Yeah, like
they just be chilling at the game.
It took me a while to understand there were actually sites that you could pay for rankings.
But that's why they stop paying. Well, I ain't got.
It took me a while because I was, not basically in the know of things like that. Not saying I don't get two shits about it anyway, but just to find out, because, you could do that. The kids started talking. They'd be like, yo, coach, you see this person, he ranked. I'm like, oh, what you think? What you think about that? Because
I was going to say, and the thing is that, like, I think we probably all at a point in time controlled our kids' handles.
Yeah, for sure.
On social media.
For sure.
And those sites would inbox you, especially like as soon as your kids start getting a little bit of followers, anything like that.
Oh yeah.
Hey, pay this much to get a write up. Pay this much to get ranked.
Man, as soon as Junior Phenom posts you as an @ in the game, that's when it came.
That's when it came. Yeah.
It
shout out to Steve.
Yeah, Steve. I say, shout out to Steve.
We was talking about this earlier. That with AAU, he was relevant. He was made hoops. Steve, when he had to play in Steve's tournament, or you wasn't nobody.
Yeah. And right now, we are. This is the weekend.
Yeah.
If y'all remember,
that's what
MLK weekend, Junior Phenom inside the DMV.
Oh yes,
sir. They at Rocky Mount this weekend?
They're at Rocky Mount this weekend.
Damn, they done moved like the DMV.
Rocky Mount built a big facility similar to Rock Hill, so it's like you can host a whole tournament at one facility now.
Yeah.
Shout out to Steve. We got to get you on here because you was the guy.
Oh,
I wonder why the community. This is a little sidebar, but why we didn't support Steve.
Oh, so I guess I've been out of the circuit world a little bit.
I feel like
Junior Phenom
is not as relevant as the other guys. He should be, though.
Oh, but is it?
So what happened was I feel like the people with names. So if you think about it right now, some of the biggest teams that we know are based off a NBA player's name.
Okay.
Then became a lot of NBA players hosting tournaments and events with other people. So it became where versus going just to Steve events, like anything, they started posting things at the same time. So slowly but surely, if I can buy your team to come, your team is free. And I can guarantee you're going to play this team. Like that's what became more so than anything else. The politics. I'm going to make sure we set up games to where we're going to do a lot of – so showcase games really what hurt Steve.
Yeah. You think because he started doing showcase games?
No, I feel like everyone else started doing showcase games. So, like, more than anything else versus we put them on opposite brackets and hope they get to the championship, we're going to say, screw that. We're going to host a night where they're going to play all the teams they need to play now, and it doesn't hurt their standings going forward.
Right.
But I guess I'll say this. I think that one of our first Super Pools was a Steve. Wait, no, who did Memorial Day? That might be just Team Takeover.
That was Takeover did Memorial Day.
Yeah, that was Takeover. All right, so that was a little different. But I feel like he did start doing the showcase game.
I mean, he had to start competing with the takeovers. You know what I mean? In the sense of not necessarily competing with them, but kind of taking from what they were doing, added to his event to make his event even bigger.
And I thought that he did well at that. To me, and again, like I think that probably around 3-4 years ago, we probably made a transition also from not playing in as many. But the sneaker circuit surgence at the grassroots level, in my opinion, seems like it's taken a lot of what he was doing. Where you had every single sneaker circuit now has its own feeder system tournament that they branch all the way down to elementary school. So middle school made hoops. They had a run where at first to me it was Steve, Junior Phenom, and then it seemed like it became really, really big when it came down to it being sneaker circuit team. And the sneaker circuit team being or the sneaker circuits being prioritized at the elementary and middle school level more than actually playing the Junior Phenoms, in which back in the day you kind of almost knew year round where it was going to land and which was going to be the ones you wanted to go to. You knew you wanted to go to the MLK. That was a guaranteed one. I know we always wanted to do the Carolina Showcase because it was in the area. I think they had one in Tennessee. The battle at Rocky Mount.
The battle of the what was it?
Yeah, it was Battle of Rocky Mount or something like that.
Yeah.
Rocky Top.
Rocky Top.
And like it was certain ones,
the best joint.
Yeah, it was certain ones where you had it on your list. Like, okay, we're going to make sure that we go here, and these are like really, really prevalent things. In comparison to now, like I think Made Hoops might have something this weekend. Like it's a bunch of things that's going this weekend. Mm-hmm. Like all the circuit teams all the circuit junior circuits are all playing at the same time. And back in the day, you had Thrill, Takeover, New World, Team United, CP3, like all of them.
Bull City, everybody was in there.
Who might be associated with these different brands, but they all went to the same tournament.
No, that was actually the only ground where you was able to see many different shoe brands kind of come together and play. You know what I mean? I actually remember that one year where this team from Cali came to Sneaker Streets. Was it called?
Sneaker Steel. Yeah,
Sneaker Steel. And I was like, yo, who was that? Yeah. You know what I mean? They was out there.
Getting to it. Matt Barnes. What? No, that wasn't Matt Barnes.
Them too.
That wasn't even Matt Barnes yet.
Yeah, that wasn't Matt Barnes' team. That was the. I know you're talking about.
Yeah, but
light skin.
And it's also like you were saying,
Hispanic looking dude.
With Junior Phenom was that early season like smoke. Mm-hmm. Like you knew no more than anything else. That first one is gonna be the smoke. Everybody gonna hit that first one.
You see where you are.
Mm-hmm. That Carolina one, of course, like you say, you want to do it because it was home. But that first one, then that Rocky Top that caught the other side. That now you catch some of the Midwest. You get the B-Mays, the Kentuckys, the Ohio's, the Indiana teams that's coming out. The some of the Georgia teams, the Mississippi teams. Like okay, now you see the whole different side of things.
Get Steve back popping again, y'all. I gotta advocate for Steve in this free promo. Programs get together and get Steve back popping again because ain't no way we ain't got no.
Are they still doing Junior Phenom?
Yeah, they doing it, but it ain't as heavy as it used to be. He's still going, and and Steve, I support him. I was supporting him when I was
gotcha.
And free promo again. It's free promo. Let's get Steve back popping again, where we all can meet up and we can all do what we do in Tennessee, and see what these teams looking like. Let's not meet at all these other spots. Let's meet with Steve. Get him back popping again. Shout out Steve.
I guess to try and redirect it back to the question. So ranking. I don't know if you actually answered it yet. When is the right time to start ranking kids?
You want to know what? Outside of the money part of it, I like the ranking. It don't mean nothing, but I think it keeps the competitiveness with the kids and the dads and the egos and all that stuff, and that makes basketball.
I ain't gonna need front. I mean, putting all that together does make it's the backstory. It's the backstory. Like a backstory.
If we don't got that, we ain't got nothing to talk about.
It's a backstory.
I ain't really think about it like that. It's easy to hate on a lot of the shit.
It is, but
that is a fair POV where it becomes like
because like you say, you go back to it like. At a certain point in time, it was the parents doing the handling on the kids. So you realize it ain't got that go Johnny and Lil Z going there. It's really got that Johnny Daddy.
Yeah, it's like that.
Hey, nigga, let's go. Pull up.
We got y'all Saturday. We gonna be there. Yeah, we there.
Hey, that made it though. So you get to the gym, you wonder why brother out there sweating at the baseline and the other nigga down there. He
looking nervous.
Like bro,
Why that gym floor shaking?
Why that gym floor shaking? Why little kids running down?
The daddy doing it too. Yeah, you see it. It. Yeah, he having a better game than yours.
Yeah. So that funny part about it, it never. I mean, I can say for the most part, it didn't get past that. You know what I mean? And that's what I loved about a lot of these tournaments that we went to, especially with Steve. Steve type, if you get a little heated, Steve, come on, hey, man, chill out,
And we too.
You respect Steve, you right, bro. You right. But it's a good one. It is a good one, Steve. Hey, but that's one thing I loved about the respect we have for Steve to where like now it's so crazy, bro. Like to see parents run on the court hitting referees and shit like that, man.
That is crazy. In which I will say that even during that time, there was some teams from. I don't even want to give the area.
Don't say the area. Just say the team.
You
just say.
We've seen that happen during our.
Oh no. Yeah. Yeah. Y'all had some experiences.
No, it wasn't even like us, but I've seen some teams that you said that you've beaten before.
Yeah.
That was doing
it's salty.
Yeah, the parents get turned up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like hit a ref.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hit the ref like that's crazy.
It is crazy though.
But or even encouraging your kid to fight because they've lost.
Yeah. Oh, that is wild.
And it's crazy. We go and I'm circling back around. I'm gonna get back to you though, Trey. But it's like that emotion thing I was talking about. Even as a coach, but now even as a parent, you got to control your emotions as a parent because your kid's gonna feed off your emotion. Mm-hmm. And what happens is these kids have competed. Mm-hmm. They're good.
Yeah.
They may be over there crying and whatever. Then it's the parent, man, fuck them. Right.
They were cheating anyway.
So now the kid is accepting that energy and is exemplifying that energy on another kid that, hey, y'all were just good 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Of course you mad you lost, but y'all competed.
Right. Yeah.
Then it turned into the ugliness of the emotions of the parent. You know what I mean? So it's kind of just that full circle of saying, like, I was saying, me as a coach had to learn how to handle emotions. Mm-hmm. These parents have to learn how to handle their emotions.
No, that's a big thing.
Because they don't realize at times you're saying things about another person's kid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And stop doing that. Stop. Don't talk about these kids, man. Let them do.
Like they babies, bro. You know what I mean? Even though we talk about teenage babies sometimes, like I hear so much in the stands, bro, with these parents. Is like, man, you luckily.
The mom ain't sitting right here.
That part, and you lucky if they do hear it, they're more calm than you are.
Yeah.
They're more collected than you are because I know some parents would be like, look at me like,
number 3 you talking about?
They look at me like, coach, they don't know. Yeah. And I hate it gets there, but it's like, yo, cheer for your team, be proud of your kids, but let's eliminate this talking ish about another kid. You know what I mean? Let's eliminate that part though, bro.
Yeah. And that was a open gym PSA.
For sure. For sure.
So it sounds like when did you you said like you cool with it in general.
And I was gonna say I like because of the competitive side of it. But like you said, it really don't count till high school.
Yeah.
If
you ain't talking about AP, ESPN,
ESPN,
certain things, that's the validity of it.
Yeah.
And I get where a person who has a certain clout in the game making observations of who they feel like are, top level kids. I can respect
that.
And
I like that. I want to see that.
I want to see that.
Yeah.
But I feel like when everyone's chiming in, it kind of gives a bias to what they only like, who they like. Politics.
Yeah, politics.
That thing. So it's, and even ESPN has politics. Even AP, it's politics in all of it. It's who they sing.
Shout out Paul. Paul, how you say his name?
Which one?
Paul Carney.
Ben Carter.
Yeah.
It's like once he's the new Bob Gibbons.
Yeah.
And those who camp in that word understand what I mean when I say that. Bob Gibbons give you that stamp. If you went to a Bob Gibbons an evaluation camp and he gave you mid-major, low D1, high D1, whatever it may be, that stamp was valid.
It meant everything.
It meant everything.
Yeah.
Coaches would see that as something that hey, Bob Gibbons said the kid can,
Yeah.
Same thing with Paul Ben Carter right now. If he stamps you, at you, or includes you in something, you've made it.
Yeah, and that's one of them ones you play in now. That's like the tournaments,
the Rock Hill joint.
Shots. Big shots.
I mean, really, that's kind of one of them tournaments now that kind of relates to back in the day. We was talking about AAUs like that one tournament to where you have to play in that tournament now at a certain level, a certain age to make sure that you are providing that avenue for your kids.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess that going from players. In which, so you said high school pretty much for you.
Yeah.
For you like the fun of it even at a younger age where it ends up being somewhere to where like it is fodder for parents. It's something that builds a conversation, the competitiveness. It makes it to where you can sell out these tournaments for one game.
Oh yeah,
like
for sure.
people have paid that $20 money grab. Just to go see some kids that they seen talking crazy on or their parents. My bad.
I want to see that.
Talk crazy on the internet. So now let's move over to the team side. Is there a time where it's too early to be ranking teams?
Well, I feel like the whole thing with the ranking of the players, going back to what Trey was saying early.
Before you go there, and I know I just asked you this question, but I want to ask one before that.
Yeah.
That I imagine people are kind of hint towards inside the comments. Do you think ranking them too early can stunt development?
Ooh. I feel like, yeah. Well, I feel like there are pros and cons to it. Okay. I'm not going to go fully over the line or on the line or either one about, because I feel like there are pros and cons to both. You know, if you're touted as one of the best, the motivation to stay the best is also a pro. Mm-hmm. The con to that is you can be touted as the best and you get comfortable, complacent, you know, with that title. But I also feel like, you know, with these rankings of teams and everything like that, kind of pulling it all together, I feel like when you're ranking a team, ranking a player early, of course that goes hand in hand with ranking that team early.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So if I have two of the top 25 fourth graders, mm-hmm. of course my team is going to be ranked in the top 10 or 5 because I have the top 2 kids in that age division. Mm-hmm. So I feel like ranking teams too early is also not good because, like I say, you're not looking at it from the standpoint of that whole team. Because mind you, I bet the ranking that team early, I bet that person is ranking them cannot name every kid on that team.
They're ranking them based off the player.
That part,
yeah.
Like
or wins, I guess,
or wins, or who they beat. So now, and then we're talking about also at an early age, a lot of kids are not. I mean, a lot of teams, which they shouldn't be, traveling across country to play everybody.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah. Can we pause real quick? I just seen I don't know, maybe it was like 2032. I don't even know what age groups these be. And when I tell you they had a national schedule
at 2032,
I think was that like 6th grade, 7th grade, like they playing in Georgia, then they playing in Philly, then they playing in
8th grade. So 2030 is 7th grade. 2031 is
like fifth or sixth.
Fifth grade is 2032.
Yeah, so I know. I looked at the schedule, and like for the group that I was coaching, right. I think that we did fairly national. Like we do Birmingham, we do DC. Like we did East Coast, like
Magic City, tournament.
Yeah.
Big. But we're not going no further than
Alabama.
I would say,
Alabama was as far as we
go. Going up.
Some of the North Carolina teams would do the John Lucas, so they'll go to
Texas.
So they'll do Texas, but that's about as far. We'll do Birmingham, we'll do Tennessee, we'll do DMV.
They did that shit like 1 or 2 times with LJ and DeMario. They went down that way.
John Lucas.
John Lucas. We were going to do it prior to COVID hitting. Mm-hmm. We were going to actually kind of schedule it to where it allowed us to kind of get everything together to make that trip. Mm-hmm. But when COVID hit, it kind of took a lot of things out of it. Like we were going to do the May Hoops early rise in 5th grade. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's when Dyson, Josh, and all them first came over and things like that. But then COVID hit. But for the most part, we weren't going too further than Alabama, Tennessee.
When I tell you,
they had
Indiana, one local tournament. That was everything else, and that might have been like in Rock Hill or something like that.
Guys,
but when I looked at it, I said,
guys, call them the flight boys already. They flight boys.
I was like, man, as a parent for this team,
3rd grade, we shouldn't be playing in Colorado.
Right. And in which I think this might have been like a 6th grade team or something like that. It just came across the socials. But I was like we
imagine
did
what them
traveling.
Teams look like. Now that's when them teams.
Well, you know what?
It might be 4,000.
Yeah, that's 4,000.
I'm about to say no. That's when there's someone with money.
Behind it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially that's what talking about. A parent. They got the bread, or a few parents got the bread.
And as I think
NBA
about it,
players, kid on that team, or
I can't say that they had that, but I think what it was that they were playing a made hoops schedule, and they were playing a middle school championship schedule.
Okay.
And that is just like you're everywhere. And it's
so the funny part about it was prior to COVID, you realized that junior NBA was supposed to actually be that new thing.
Yeah, they was rolling it out.
They was rolling out, bro, and it was supposed to be that thing. Like,
where do these parents work at?
Well, that's what I was thinking about.
That's what I want to know.
When I heard that, when I seen the schedule, I was like, bro, my kid was born in the right time.
Flight.
Well, that's what benefited, at one point in time, what was going on the TU side. A lot of parents just started working at the airport. Get them flight benefits. Like, yo,
the airport hustle.
Get the airport hustle, bro. Like, do me 5 hours a night. I get to fly me and my family and fly for free.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you.
We'll fly out cheap. We'll fly out Wednesday for a tournament on Friday.
Yeah,
I'm gonna just make that drive.
Yeah. Oh, like I drove.
Make sure I didn't got that oil change,
bro. I drove the Spooky Nuke in Philadelphia. I drove. I drove the Spooky Nuke in Ohio. Nigga, I ain't take none of them flights, bro. For real, for a week. But you know what's the funny part though about it? Like those drives were some of the best, best times though. You know what I mean? You think about it. You realize you and your child are crossing states that they never would have seen outside of you doing this.
With them, and they friends.
They friends, bro. You know what I mean? Like, so those are the moments like you cherish and everything. But at the same, like he say, bro, I was cheap, bro. Like, unless I was getting the buddy, like,
hey, I'm hitting Q on the phone. Hey,
outside of Cali,
what you need to, you want to go in on the room too?
Outside,
yeah.
Outside of 2 Cali trips, bro, like that's the first time we really had thought about flying. Like you had to fly.
Yeah, you got to get out.
You
can't drive.
We're not gonna drive 3 days and drive the Route 66 and everything.
Ain't no way.
Especially, I'm the only driver too, and just him just thinking in there sleeping. Oh no, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work.
So I guess Wayne said. So in essence, was you saying that you don't think that? Or you think that ranking them too early could hurt
stunt the
growth?
It could at times.
Ranking the teams too early.
I said, it's a gift and a curse.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's more so to where if a team is built like that and their coach is built like that, the program is built to want to sustain it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then it's a benefit. Now you got kids that stay hungry. They want to come work. They want to. It hurts them to lose a game. You talking about, it's some programs at that age that them kids will sweep a whole summer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To where like even with the smoke.
Yeah.
It's summers of kids that go a whole summer, don't lose not one game.
Yeah.
But that's the motivation to want to come back and do it again the next year.
I seen a team come out of nowhere with 99 overalls. Like, who the hell is that? It would beating everybody too.
Yeah.
It definitely be like that. In which I guess if I was to give a POV, I'd say I think that I'm not as for ranking kids early. Probably just going through the process and knowing what I know now, I'd probably say high schoolish is probably when I think it's valid and it makes sense to rank them per se.
Yeah.
Because I just now have seen so many kids come out of nowhere. Just if we just say in the state.
Yep.
In the area where it's like, these kids ain't playing on no big circuit teams. These kids wasn't ranked at all. And these kids might have like developed 7th, 8th grade body, height, and then the skill set has came as well. Just because they was playing on like lower level teams, so they was around it, but they just wasn't competing at the highest level, right? But then I'm actually not against, and maybe even for ranking teams early.
Yeah,
because I do think that when you say like being able to get a bunch of competitive kids together early to compete, in which like we can speak about how valuable like having like these super teams at a young age is and whether that's good or bad. But if they exist right now, and that's cool, in comparison to like having these kids beat people by 60, 70, finding where these teams that are really competitive and being able to group them together to where at least they're competing inside a manner in which it's competitive.
Yeah.
I think that there's value in that.
Yeah.
And again, it gives it's conversation for parents, in which is not like specific just to kids to where a kid might feel overwhelming pressure that I'm this thing. And now I got to live up to this title for the next 10 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Where if it's just a team or organization, we all know everybody jumps, organizations.
That's what I was about to say. You're going to have that back and forth with people joining, leaving because, you winning and they're not playing. So now you got kids that could have developed more. They were developing, leaving because just you wasn't playing in that particular situation.
Yeah.
Then now you got a kid's like, okay, you leave. Now I'm adding another better kid. You know, now you be like you saying to your point, you're building a whole super team.